welcome back to Chair Shot Reality here on WrestleZone.com. I'm with my man JT, his first time ever on CSR. It's been a long time in the making. Welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you for having me, Josh. We got Hell in a Cell this weekend.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited about Hell in a Cell. Let's kick off our predictions here all weekend long. First off, Dana Brooke versus Bayley. Who you got?
Dana Brooke, for those of you who do watch Wrestle Reaction, is a pain in my existence. I'm going Bayley.
I gotta go Bayley as well. I think Dana Brooke could use the victory, but it's time for Bayley to start establishing and picking up victories, becoming that dominant woman that we saw in NXT for such a long time. We're clean sweeping and going on Bayley. Enzo Amore and Big Cass going against my boys in the club, Gallows and Anderson. Who wins this battle?
Bada boom, realest guys in the room, but I am going
Who are you going with?
with Gallows and Anderson. These guys need a signature win. They're my boys, they gotta get a win.
I think that they gotta get a win. I think they need to establish more victories. This is the flip of the coin for them because Enzo and Cass are the same way, though. They haven't gotten wins here in WWE in such a long time. They continuously lose, but the one thing they have that the club does not have is that microphone each and every single week. Win, lose, or draw, they're going to be perfectly fine. I'm going to go Gallows and Anderson. I think they get one more shot at that tag team championships, and I want to see them thrive, and I want to see them succeed. Speaking of the WWE Tag Team Championships, The New Day versus the odd couple of Cesaro and Sheamus. You got to think the New Day continues on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. New Day is roughly around 400 and something days now. I think the record is 471 for Demolition.
Yep.
I think that's what they're going to break. I'm going to say New Day as well.
New Day. It's going to be New Day, and Cesaro and Sheamus. I think that when Shazamus, how about that
Shazamus,
one? When
I like
Cesaro
that.
actually turns heel, which I think he needs to do for this tag team to be successful, that's when you give them the tag team championships. I think they come so close. They realize that they could be really good and a very dominant tag team. Both styles of offense are great with those.
Yeah,
guys.
and these guys are going to work great together.
Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Xavier Woods or Kofi Kingston with Big E? Or is it going to be Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston?
It's going to be Big E and Kingston.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's what we saw in Raw and they lost, though. You don't
that
throw in
is
the
true.
trombone playing Xavier?
I do love me some Xavier Woods.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's smarter than both of us. PhD
He
and
is
everything.
a doctor. A doctor.
What are you?
I'm not a doctor.
You're not a doctor. I play one, but I'm not a doctor whatsoever. Looking in further into the card, though, the match that I'm looking forward to, Reigns and Rusev. I know people are saying, why are you looking forward to this match? Why not? Physicality inside Hell in a Cell. I think you're going to get Roman Reigns winning and defeating Rusev, but you're going to get one hell of a match from both guys.
Yeah, I think this match opens the card up
I think
with
so,
Hell in a
too.
Cell. I am looking forward to this match more than any other match on the card as well. These guys work great together. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be physical. Can't wait for it. Roman Reigns keeps the dub.
As brutal as Jacksonville's offense? He's a Jaguars
Worse.
fan, if you couldn't tell,
It'll
by the
be
way. And I love
worse.
me some Blake. I love me some Blake Bortles.
It'll be more brutal than their offense.
Those are our predictions. Let's send it in studio for Justin and Juice. Renell Hunt, the whole crew's going to be here all weekend long. But let's send it over to Justin in studio. Guys, those are our predictions. Thank you so much, JT. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's not the last time you'll see this guy. Visit Wrestle Reaction. This guy, JT Pruitt, all over the world. Just as good as me. Back to you in studio.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, JT. Let's roll on here and kick off with the matches that they also started talking about, Juice. Let's get into the kickoff match. A little cruiserweight action. Cedric Alexander, Lince Dorado, Sin Cara up against Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Arya Daivari. Kickoff match. What are you expecting here?
A showcase. I would have liked to. I don't know. I like to see the cruiserweights on the main card, but there's a lot of guys on there. You got the cruiserweight title match on there. I'm sure that's going to be good enough. And they've been doing it on Raw every week. I think that they're going to show some good stuff. I think it's something to not. Normally a kickoff match is something you wouldn't want to watch, but that's
Right.
something.
Not to leave anybody out, and I'm not. All have been impressive, but I have to say, out of the influx of cruiserweight talent, I got to say, Lince Dorado is really growing on me. I've tweeted about that a few times.
He was growing on me in the Cruiserweight Classic. He's
Yeah.
he's definitely a good talent.
All right, moving on. Bayley versus Dana Brooke.
Well, if you watched the Raw segment and you saw how the crowd reacted there, I don't see how this could be any better at the pay-per-view. And
How could it be any worse? I hope it's not any worse.
let's pray. Whoever wins this, does this mean they're gonna go against whoever?
There should be no question of who's winning this. If we've already seen Dana Brooke get what ended up being a clean victory on Bayley because Dana Brooke screwed up and couldn't get her feet to the ropes. I understand mistakes happen. She was thrown in there. She's learning as she goes. I'm not trying to pick on her. She's got a good look. I hope that she reaches whatever fully potential there is. But she ended up getting a clean win on Bayley because she screwed up, couldn't get her feet on the ropes. Then we end up having this segment where Bayley's in the ring. Bayley, who everybody loves, is in a ring in a segment. I'm walking back from the bathroom in the Target Center in Minneapolis, and I hear, "This is stupid." I thought Sheamus was still out there because he was just out there the segment before, and they chant, "You look stupid." Only to see Bayley in the ring getting "This is stupid" chants. This is not what Bayley should be subject to.
Not at
Is
all.
it just me, or has this been a not great transition from NXT to Raw for Bayley?
It started off fantastic. She was working with the New Day a little bit. She was
Yeah.
doing backstage segments. She was promoted as just like a happy-go-lucky girl, and now it's arm wrestling contest.
This should be Bayley. I mean, but this is
To
where
win the match, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
This
yeah,
is where
I
it
agree.
gets interesting. You know, WrestleRumble.com doing picks. Like I said, first place prize for your picks on Sunday. First place, $500 cash and 2 luxury suite tickets to sit with me at the Royal Rumble in San Antonio.
I don't know how much luxury that is.
Big luxury. You got food. You got drink. Private
Yeah,
bathroom.
you.
I'm luxurious in my
Okay.
own fashion. David Allen, everything. So these are one of those pinnacle points here. You better be picking Bayley because you want to get that first prize. You better be picking Bayley for the savior of Bayley.
But on the other hand, to play devil's advocate, what if Charlotte ends up winning her match, in a Hell in a Cell, and then Dana can go after that?
Well, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
We'll cross that bridge.
All right, let's go to Enzo and Cass up against Gallows and Anderson here, a little grudge match.
I don't know.
Your boys, all your boys.
All my boys. It's going to be a great match. I'm going to enjoy it. But I think they got one of these guys is going to move on to the tag titles after this.
Then it should absolutely be Gallows and Anderson, but we've already kind of seen them with the New Day.
We have.
Enzo and Cass do not need to be around the tag titles. They don't need it.
So then, what's this match is almost pointless then?
unless something that we're not thinking of or aware of can come into the play.
Well, that's the fun of Wrestle Rumble. What's going to happen?
Absolutely.
You don't know.
All
who
right,
you're
give me a win though.
Gallows and Anderson.
I'm going against you. Enzo and Cass, they seem to be the hot hand, and they're gonna.
They're always the hot hand.
They're always the hot.
They didn't need the mighty friend. Literally the hot hand.
Literally the hot hand. All right. Still more tag team action this time for the titles. New Day up against the odd couple that is Cesaro and Sheamus.
I think Cesaro and Sheamus should win the belts eventually. They should have a run with the belts, but I don't know if this is the right time to do New Day.
That schedule, they got that record going.
I know. I don't think this is the right time to do it, but I think it'll be a good match because Cesaro and Sheamus have been working really well.
I agree. I enjoy the odd couple thing. It's not the first time we've seen it, but I think they're pulling it off well. Both guys, I think New Day retains the titles as they keep moving towards the record, and Sheamus and Cesaro, of course, can keep pointing fingers at who screwed up what. All right, moving into really what is the focus of this segment here is
Triple main event, first match.
First match of the triple main event inside of Hell in a Cell, United States title, Rusev up against Roman Reigns.
I like the premise of this match. I think out of the 3 Hell in a Cell matches, I'd say it's just slightly the third one I'm looking forward to, because the intrigue of the first 2. But I still think they might be able to tear the house down on this. Like they've been pretty brutal in their feud, and it's been kind of personal. And I don't know. I think it's underrated. People are overlooking this match.
I enjoy watching these two have matches.
I agree.
Even the dark match they had in Minneapolis, it was probably 8-9 minutes.
I've never heard someone say that. I like the dark match.
The dark match they did was good. It was what it was for 8 to 9 minutes. These two guys, they get a lot of flat. Rusev gets solid heel heat. Reigns gets obviously what he gets, but they deliver. The interesting thing I'm watching for here is that this should be, well, then again, I don't know. In my mind, this should be the first of the 3 Hell in a Cells.
Oh, definitely.
Go on, and then when you have, I can't ever remember a show that's had 3 Hell in a Cell matches on the same card. I don't think they've ever done it. They've done 2 before. I don't think they've ever done 3.
And they've done a show with a TLC match and a Hell in a Cell, but they've never done, I don't think, 3 Hell in a
And
Cell.
if I'm wrong, I'm sure somebody is correcting me right now in the comments below or hit me up on social media by now.
Normally that would be me, but I can't think of it.
As of now, my phone is not going off. As of now, I don't think we've ever had 3 Hell in a Cell. So the fact that this is the first Hell in a Cell match, what makes me wonder is how much can they do without
ruining
showing
it for the rest.
right?
Yeah.
Without showing
well, I
everything.
think that's the difference here is that the girls that have the match in I've heard maybe the main event. If they
the girls are either going to be the very first thing or the very last thing.
But I think because the whole dynamic, I don't count anything that they do with the 2 guys matches. So I think there's a lot of room actually for Reigns and Rusev.
So you're saying the girls can just go to the top and throw somebody off and everything's all.
You don't know. You never know about these things.
See, I disagree. I think if it's all the same gimmick match, I think you have to be cognizant of each. This might actually be the match. I don't know. Reigns and Rusev, this might be the one Hell in a Cell match that needs to put emphasis on them getting out of the cell.
Yeah, because
the girls can do some stuff inside the cell because it'll be just the novelty of seeing them in the cell.
Yes.
Rollins and Owens, I think, are with their styles are creative enough, and then if you factor in if Jericho gets involved or you factor in if a Triple H or Stephanie or Foley or anybody, I think this would be the match, the Roman Reigns and Rusev. If it goes on, if it's the first of the 3 cells, this could be the one where they get out of the cell.
If you put it like that, yeah, they can go out of the cell. You have the interference in that match, and then in the women's match, you can just have the novelty of the whole thing. So I would agree with you on that.
But then I can play devil's advocate. If that's the first cell match and they get out of the cell, does that decrease the value of the cell being able to keep people in?
Or maybe they destroy some part of the cell and they can't fix it.
Then,
and then anything can happen in the other 2 matches.
I think Juice with the win. Juice with the win.
I don't win much, so
You don't win much.
this is something.
Follow him on Twitter at Juicy Steam. Follow at Justin LeVar. Make sure you do WrestleRumble.com's Hell in a Cell Pick'em. $500. 2 tickets to San Antonio in the luxury suite with me for first place, courtesy of TicketKing.net. We got one more segment coming up.